may I confess to you, the Bible did not deny the presence of the conqueror. It told us in the Bible, in the book of Romans chapter 8, that we are more than conquerors. Well, he mentioned the conquerors. So they have conquered kings. They've conquered a lot of believers who doesn't know their place. They've conquered people who doesn't know their place. We need spiritual capacity. Then one day in Uganda, some people are praying and they saw a man landed in the midst of them. Where are you? Who are you? They said, please. So we are doing astral travels. And I dare you because I saw that you guys are praying and there is fire. Say, what do we do? Say, we are going to steal. I said, what happens? Say, our master tells us that anytime in any city, the people who need children from the devil, whenever they pay the sacrifice, he asks us to go and steal. They said, shut up your line. He quoted John 10:10 for them. He said, our master said they came to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Now, so if they have done sacrifice for 30 children from our master, we have to go to 30 people who doesn't know their God, and we steal the children from the first or second trimester. We call it diversion. And the guy was with them, and when he says he's lying, he will quote a scripture for them to tell them that what happens, how they have been able to employ their ministry as a thief. You need spiritual capacity. Wealth is spiritual. Jesus did not contest it with devil. He said, turn this stone to bread. He said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. Okay, John, you are powerful. I told him, you won't command me. I won't make my riches by compromising and by you commanding me, because already I know where I am. Wealth is spiritual. Somebody say wealth is spiritual. Please be very careful. Be wise. Be bold. As a man who has found his place in God, ensure you are not a believer by lips. Ensure you are a believer by your deeds. Ensure you wake up in the night to pray. Ensure you learn fasting. Ensure you are good in church and you are committed to the things of God. You know, there's a fire on this mountain. We just fire 2 hours now. But do you know that the mystery of it is 0 times 1 billion? How much is it? So if you bring no fire to the altar, you have to bring something to the table. You know, morning devotion, no personal retreat. You just come to church because you have some nice fabrics to show people, to touch up people. Because you just buy a brand new car and you know, yes, they will know my X5. Boy, my Bugatti. Oh boy. Without Bugatti, you will slip off on the steering. If you don't fortify. Somebody say, I will fortify myself. You need to fortify yourself. Then character capacity is the next one. We need to build character. You need to build character. I didn't know people know me in this town. So you wrote the book. We know you. We've heard of you. Come up here. I'm pissed. So I've been hiding since 2009. We know you. People know you. Character goes a long way. And then you need leadership capacity. Then he said, if you want, don't do the work of 10 men. Put 10 men to work instead of doing the work of 10 men. If you're a 4-man, don't do the work of 4 men. Very important. Leadership, you need leadership capacity. Build it. Read about it. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Be a leader in your attitude. People don't care how much you know until they can see how much you care. Emotional capacity, this is serious. This is a very serious. I've seen a lot of financial gurus that they are emotionally bankrupt. I've seen rich guys who are strong wife beaters. It's sad when you are so rich and you cannot control your emotion. When you are not a DM, you said, I lost my temper, I killed the archbishop. You need to learn. A man that has no control over it, it's like a city broken without walls. You need emotional capacity. And now, you need emotional intelligence. You need EQ. Very important. Learn it. Go and learn all these behavioral habits. Let's learn it. It's very important. It has helped me in my marriage. It has helped me as a father. It has helped me as a consultant. It has helped me as a pastor. Very important. I have a wife. Oh, I have not introduced my wife. Baby, where are you? Please put your hands together for my wife. Hallelujah. Wave your hand. Let people see you. Stand up. Let people see you. My queen. Baby, please stand up now. Let them see you now. Come on. Put your hands together for my wife. You know, that's my strength. After God, that's the major secret I have. She doesn't like going out with me often. She likes to pray for me in the house. She's been born again 5 years before me. Though I'm older than her 3 years, but she's been born again all the time. We were in the disco hall. She was just there in church, serving men of God. And they would tell her, you will marry a mighty man of God. You cook this food, you will marry a mighty man of God. And I came into the church. Taught me a lot of things about prayer, about confession, about faith. And 13 years, like 13 days. She's the mother indeed. Put your hands together for her. I celebrate you, Funke. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Funke. I celebrate you. Emotional capacity goes a long way. And finally, intellectual capacity. Let us learn. Let us learn to be intellectually strong. I didn't like school. I must confess to you about this intellectual capacity. Let me confess myself to you. I never liked school all my days. The only time I liked school was my orientation camp. I never came first. If you were about 40 in the class, if I'm 37 or 35, I'm good in position. And then, you know our fathers, all of them used to come first. Until one of my friends that came home one day, he came last, and his father's friend met him at the sitting room. And the father said, and his father's friend said, bring your report sheet. And the son, oh, you're a dullard. When we were in school, I used to come first. Your father used to come second. The father was in the bedroom when he came out and he saw the result. That has ended. Hey, Junior, you disappoint me. Ask my friend, I used to come first. He used to come second. But daddy, your friends said, none of them ever came first or second. I never liked school. You know why? Academics is not the same as education. The academic atmosphere of this country in content does not have what they can offer me. So I knew from school days that I was an endangered species. So I improvised. I schooled myself outside the academia. But you have to understand this. The growing disparity between your institution that is choking you out and the organization that is going to employ you. There is a growing disparity. Because why? Our academic models are hard model. You see a student who graduates as a computer scientist who have not seen a laptop. He has only mainframe. And in the computer lab, they put do not touch there. Because there are about 60 of them over about 3. It's sad. That's why I said there is this state of emergency. I got to know this in Abeokuta. On the 31st of January 2009, I was asked to come and speak at the Winners Chapel, Abeokuta. So come and tell our people how you have been doing it. 3 months, you are erecting billboard, doing summits, millions. Why are you doing it? That day was the 10th birthday of my daughter. And for you to stand in Winners Altar, I've not seen any of my local pastors around. When I grow up in 6 years' time, I want to go to Harvard. I said, say what? He said, what? Harvard. I said, this guy is asking for about $30,000 in 6 years. So I had to improvise. I have to raise my game. Immediately I finished that meeting and I did one summit in February. I made my way to Abuja. I stopped playing the local league. I came to Premiership. I had to stop fishing for shark in shallow waters. I had to leave the city. I left them at home and I came here praying. And when I broke through in July, my wife came to see 2,000 women gathered to see what God has done again. From running a multi-millionaire project, Zero Cover. It has become a play in my hands. I'm gunning for Joyce Meyer by the grace of God to bring her to this city. And because I should, when I got in touch with her, I told her, I said, Ma, Nigeria is a place they pay you more. People give to you more than all the. You've gone to Kenya, you've gone to South Africa, you've gone to Malawi, you've not been to Nigeria. He said, how do you know this? I said, God said I should tell you this. He said, it's true. You have to come. And when I saw what it takes to bring her, he said, come and fire time with PFN and car. I said, no. God said, no. I said, wait. She's flying with her jet with about 30 staff. Looking at almost about 80 million naira. I said, when I grow up, give me 2 years or 3 years. I'll get to Fenton Mesuri and allow her to coach me I follow her for about 2 or 3 months. I know she will decide to come. So please, what are you saying? You need intellectual capacity. Let's quickly move on. Now, who is this? I can't hear you. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? And who is this? Let's say it loud. Now, who are you? I did not write their name there. You mentioned them when you saw their face. Who are you? When you show up, what will people say about you? What's your brand? What's your niche? I didn't put their names, but you mentioned them. I want to show us 25 prerequisites to starting a multimillionaire project zero kobo. Follow me carefully. Because I want to let you know, if you can do this 21 in few times. I have the audio out there, which I explain all this thing explicitly. Now, know yourself, to thyself be true, says Shakespeare. The day you meet you, there will be a revival. Some of us have not met ourselves. We are still looking for what is in us. I want to add that the people that do know, they are God. But when you're looking for God, you look outside. But I want to add that the Spirit of God is in you. Some of the time when we are praying, you talk God is upstairs. God is in you. But to will and to do, the place of God is me. Is in me. Can somebody say that with me? The place of God is in me. Don't look out. It's in you. And let me tell you, one with God is a majority. Know yourself. Please. On time. A man who doesn't know himself worked in an organization for about 30, with the government with about 35 years as an accountant. And the man was in his late 50s. Because he doesn't know himself, he went to take up a job with a boy who is just in the same age mate. He's an age mate with his first son. And he employed him in their company as the accountant. And this man, when they asked him, Baba, you got account? What? Look at, bring the account. Look at him shaking. He will be shaking. And he was embarrassed until he had an heart attack. Because he had to keep ends meet. He doesn't know himself. When you know yourself, you will resign after 10 years. You will know you have worked to learn. You have not worked to hand. No matter where you have been paid, you see your payment as a pocket money for the time of your apprenticeship. A vulcanizer knows apprenticeship than an accountant who is a graduate. You need apprenticeship. You need to submit to leadership. You need to learn. Know yourself. When you know yourself, nobody will brush you up or flush you down anywhere. As a pastor for 10 straight years, I knew myself. When other pastors are running after skirt, senior pastor is coming. I make sure. One day he called me. He said, I sent you to that branch. But 2 times I've been to that branch, I didn't see you and your office. I said, sir, I couldn't be in the office the time you came. I must be somewhere. But don't worry, sir. Anytime, anywhere I am, I feel as if you are beside me. So I do things right. He said, go. I knew myself. It doesn't matter what has happened to your self-esteem. The scriptures is there to heal you. Please, know yourself. Please, know yourself. On time is very important. And nobody's going to show you to you. You're going to see yourself in God. He made you in His image. You are a fellow creator with God. Now, know this one too. Start living on the giving side of life. This is one of my major secrets. This is how I employ this tool to connect 100 entrepreneurs in this country. I approached them to profile them in my book, Entrepreneurship in Nigeria. I told them I'm not going to charge them for a dime. And do you know, that gave me access to them. The assets that I employed that gave me an access to these people was, I won't charge you for interview, I won't charge you for your advert. I remember when I got to the guy who owns Chicken Republic and Butterfield, he looked at me, he said, who gave you my number? I've been trying to sing for 6 months. Who gave you my number? I said, I mentioned the names of the people who gave me his number. I said, I don't know them. I said, I see, but sir, don't worry, I came to help you. He said, help me? He said, yes, I came to help you. I want to feature your business to 5,000 Nigerians abroad. I want to show them what you're doing because I was told in all the eateries and all the bakeries you're the number one. And that's it, you're doing good. You're right-brained. So I want to feature what you're doing to them abroad. So that you don't know who may need your franchise. Say that again. Actually, those guys you mentioned, I know them, but you know Lagos is hard. Now sit down, let's talk. From that day, we became good friends. Dejib is my good friend now. You can make the rich man need you if you live on the giving side of life. I succeeded in connecting to the MD of GT Bank, all these big guys. Check the book out there. A classic. I printed 2,000 copies with 8.5 million in this town with no cover. I remember days I'll be in Lagos on Okada. I remember days that I will be beating my rain. I remember days I will slept on the express. When my car broke down. Living on the giving side of life is the secret of greatness. May I submit to us, life only celebrates givers and not grabbers. Understand the original meaning of capitalism. Number 3. Now, I have gotten to the place I want to show you it's not money you need. Someone will say, many people think money is capital. No, money may be a capital anyway. But significantly, ultimately, money is not capital. And let me prove it to you. And this is I deliberately, after all my research, I zero in to what everybody has at their disposal. Oxford, Advanced Learners Dictionary defines capitalism as an economic system in which a country's businesses and industry are controlled to run for profit by private owners rather than government. Please follow this definition carefully. Businesses. Now look at this. Who is the capitalist? Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary says a person who supports capitalism is a capitalist, or a person who owns or controls a lot of wealth. Now, Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary says that to capitalize on or upon also means to gain further advantage from yourself, from let me to finish it. Your situation is your capital. Your pain is your capital. Your mess is your message. Let me show you. In 1776, 54 men gathered in the heart of Philadelphia to write the beautiful written and historically documented Declaration of Independence. When they wrote it, they were in a very terrible situation. Britain just left them. And they had nothing. All America had was their cotton farm. And the manpower and the Jewish farmer with them. They joined hands together to become the wealthiest nation in the world. They did not borrow money from IMF. They did not borrow money from World Bank. They did not borrow from anybody anywhere in the world. They capitalized on their situation from where thou art. A woman was in a meeting like this, a widow for 5 years, and suffering because the husband was the driver. She has learned how to sew. The sewing business didn't pay her. She has learned to say petty trading. The thing collapsed. When the husband died, the few money they gave her, about 100,000, she spent everything because the children are five boys. After 5 years of languishing, they invited her to a meeting. And Bishop Abiy was preaching in Abuja, in Kaduna. And the man was using from where thou art, the widow that they want to take his children as slaves. The miracle is in your house. Stop looking outside. What you need is with you. And the woman began to hear moi moi. Do you know what they call bean cake? She just began to smell. She got to a time she began to smell it. He said, God, what are you saying? He said, my daughter, I've given you moi moi as your breakthrough. And she saw that she has about 4 cups of beans at home. She saw that when she gets home, she still has some Maggi. She saw that she has some tin. She saw that she doesn't need to beg anybody to get more money done. Do you know what happened? When she got to there, she told the neighbor, she lives in this face me at Fight 2 house. 6 rooms, big queue, And then she told the neighbors, I'm selling more money now. And she put the thing on the fire. She get the beans together and all that. Because a shark has found the water. Because a spider has found his web. As if they had never eaten more money before. And immediately this aroma of more money came out. Everybody in the house. When you find your field, people will attend to you. Do you know that first day, even our children could not find more money to eat? And this sculpture of David. When this thing happened, it was one family, the very rich family, talking about like Dangote family now. There's a family in Florence, Italy, called the Medicis family. They told Michelangelo to design an image of David. And he cannot say no. God has the wealthiest family, and this is a very great honor coming to him. Michelangelo for 2 years was pacing up and down. What material will I use? Eventually, after 2 years, he found a marble beside the road, being hauled down from a particular hill sometimes. And he saw there's a marble. He told them to move it, to haul it to his studio. For another 2 years, he began to chisel it. He chiseled it, and then later he began to sandpaper it. After 4 years, he finished it. And on that day when they unveiled it, people fainted. Some ladies fainted. Everybody was breathtaking. Wow. They now asked Michelangelo one question. He said, sir, how did you get this done? He said, I saw David in his entirety in the whole slab. All I did in 4 years, I only took what was not David outside the stone, and I left David. That's serious. He said, I saw David in his entirety in the slab. For 4 years, I only took what was not David outside the slab, and I left David. I mean, what are you seeing? Which you must seize. Very, very important. Get out of the something for nothing syndrome. Sorry, there's a mistake. It's nothing for something. So please swap it. There's a mistake. It's nothing for something. You are bringing nothing to hand something. It's not going to work. Get out of it. What are you bringing to the table? When you want to connect from an area of influence to another person's area of concern, what are you bringing to the table? Get out of nothing for something syndrome. Very important. Then, understand that ideas rule the world. Know that on time, that ideas rule the world. Then, let's move on. Develop the right attitude. You can see this guy, his attitude is wrong, so to speak. Your attitude goes a long way to affect your work, because your attitude determines your altitude. Let's look at this guy now. Number 9. You are a governor general. This is Lord Lugard. Lord Lugard represented the interest of Queen Elizabeth in their days. And they colonized this country as a governor general, giving us the culture of, you can see, I'm speaking Elizabethan English. How are you? Fine. Thank you. Well done. English. They gave us their language. They gave us the way they dress. See me wearing suits. Inside it, so to speak. We wear their shirts, we wear their stuff, and lo and behold, we imbibe their culture. We do things the way they do things. They brought their culture, even after colonizing us, and they gave us independence. My brothers and my sisters, we are still under them. They are still colonizing us intellectually. Now, the question is, you are a governor general. Someone say, I'm a governor general. There is a field of play. You are the governor general. As nobody was able to question the decision of Queen in the days of colonial rule, the same way your kingdom is waiting for you. You have been sent as a governor general over a particular spheres of influence. You have been set to go there and create a change. Your king's men are waiting for you. There's a throne waiting for you. You must understand that if you don't get there, you will not rule there. Very important. You are a governor general. You are sent. You are wired as a king of your field. Stop using badminton racket to play lawn tennis. You won't get there. By doing a job that is not your work, you won't get there. It's not going to be possible. You are a governor general. Let's quickly move on. Break protocol. I've done this many times. Not rudely, but like blind Bartimaeus. Stand out. Learn to wear a different color of shirts in the midst of multitude. Those who walk with many. Those who run with many. Those who walk with few. Those who fly alone. I've come to see the garage is better. I mean, the airport is better than the garage. Go to the Utaku garage and go to the airport. It's different. It's very important, my brothers and my sisters. Let us learn to carve a name for ourselves. I saw this thing one day. When we did this, I followed them for the first time, but later I left when I saw that it was becoming watery. When they said this, Jonah, where are you? Went, Pastor Bakari and all the stuff, when they came, and we marched from Unity Fountain to the Senate. I remember when we got to Unity Fountain, they gave everybody T-shirts. And I remember I wore my t-shirt on a long sleeve shirt. When Charlie Boy came, I said, so this is what the guy they call Charlie Boy. And he came with his bike. He was wearing a t-shirt. And then I said, wait, Charlie Boy, area father, let me go and bring you a t-shirt for you. So I gave him a t-shirt. Do you know what he did? He removed the shirt he was wearing. He didn't wear it on top like my own. He removed the shirt he was wearing. He now wore that t-shirt and he now rolled the sleeves. He was the only one that dressed, wearing the same thing, but he dressed differently, in a different way. He still did this thing. And I saw that this guy, this guy, he has his own flavor, he has his own niche. He did not, he rolled it. He rolled it. And I saw that in him. I said, no wonder. You have to carve a niche for yourself. Stop. Understand the money secret. Very important. Understand the money secret. Money is an idea. Money is an idea. This is not money. This is just a mere promissory note. In fact, if it were to be pounds I hold, you will see I promise to pay the cashier. I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 20 pounds. Signed by the chief cashier, Bank of England. You will have seen it there. If it was to be a pound. This is not money. Please understand it on time. This is not money. This is just a means of exchange to exchange the relative value for whatever I want to purchase. You remember those days you used to do trade by barter. Just like what I'm doing now with my protege, who is a sculptor. That they force him to go to law school. He's bringing artwork